Hi there, my clue name is Tinkerbell. Um, I want to talk about magic and psychology and quantum physics, quantum physics, and other kind of non-related topics, but I think they are most related than people think. This is my first video, so I'm sorry about the quality and my unpolished image. Yes, this is me. But if I don't do it now, even when I'm really something prickling my throat, I'm never gonna do it. So I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm very terrified also because I've never uploaded a video. I don't have a channel, and yeah, I never upload a video when I'm speaking, particularly speaking English, which is not my first language. So I'm sorry, but I'm gonna follow Lupin's um, advice to Harry when he said follow your intuition. And yes, my intuition says that it must be in English, even though I don't speak in English quite well. So anyway, here we are. And yeah, well, if you have drawn into this video, I thought probably you are meant to be here, as I am meant to be doing these videos. So hello, welcome. Um, yeah, as I told before, I'm gonna be talking about all those unrelated topics, but they are more related than we possibly could know. First of all, I must do a disclaimer. My house is sort of an amplifier of the outdoor noises, so you probably hear trucks, motorbikes, my cats, yeah, my cats, um, or my dog. If I ever caught a video, it's because my dog bark, and she has a very strong bark. So I'm gonna save your ears, and I'm gonna cut that part and start all over. So yeah, I'm sorry, but this is what it is. This is what it is now. I'm wearing a very um, Dobby-like um, outfit. And yeah, I'm having my very bushy hair, as it is always. And I am not here to look good. I'm just here to talk about something that I think is important. And as I said before, I'm terrified, because I'm not a native English speaker. So I probably won't say things as they are said in the normal world. I'm just not gonna say it from what I've learned and what I've heard, and probably I'm gonna be miss the words. I wouldn't know how to say some things, so I'm sorry. But if I don't do it now, I'm not gonna do it ever. So I haven't even have a channel already. So I'm gonna do it this after I record this video. So yeah, well, here we are. Um, I I want to talk about this because I've always wanted to talk about Harry. Harry's and all the magical world is something very important for me in my life. Since I ever read it, since I ever watched the first movie, it became something like part of my personality and part of my references and part of my everyday thinking, sort of way. I think and I relate things from my start point of thinking is Harry Potter always. Yeah, this is what it is. And so I've always wanted to talk about it, and I always wanted to have a YouTube video channel whatever, but I was so very terrified and so scared that I haven't do it. And why now? um, I think, I've been reading and receiving certain kind of articles and information where they say that people of a certain age um, shouldn't have Harry Potter as in a pedestal or in a something from where they build their lives and stuff. And I say, why not? And I think we are always being programming constantly by society and the society expectations. And one of these societal expectations, I suppose, is grow up. Grow up, and there's nothing such as magic. And I think that's a bullshit. And I think that's the most depriving um, from creativity and from human nature that as it can be possible. And I think this is mostly written by very muggle people, and I think it's important. Why it's important, Harry, after all this time? Why its message is very why haven't it lost its importance through time, I think. And I think it's because of it, the message it holds as a story. It's a loving message. It's a message about compassion, about love, about non-judgmental um, way of thinking. It's a message about what's really important as humans. What do we have in our hearts and in ourselves that it's important? And it's not how much we achieve as consumers. It's not how much we achieve as professional people. It's not how much we achieve as muggles. That's not what is important. The real important is what do we live in other people and other creatures in our everyday interactions. And I think it has become more important through time because when I first read it, um, I was a schooler. Um, I was at school in primary school, I suppose, or leaving primary school. I don't know. I don't know. But I was being bullied, and I have been bullied most of my time in this planet. So I know what it feels to be bullied, and I know how people with no limits and no boundaries and no self-compassion, can be very harmed towards another people and another creatures. I know that from first hand, and I think that's the thing that drove me into this world that much, this identification with the misfits and with the outcasts and stuff. But and I remember when I read it, I thought, well, this is now, people can evolve and humanity can evolve into a more caring group of collective. But I think, and I don't know what has been your experiences in this world, in this society, but I think it has gone the opposite. It was before I heard about discrimination. Here in my country it was against indigenous people. Even though people in here says we are not discriminatory, yes we are. And it was like, oh, you're an indigenous, and that was very very a fundamental thing for being outcast or for being mistreated. uh, but as I remember hearing from other places, that it was like, oh, you're from another country, you're an immigrant, and or you have your skin in a different color, therefore you're lesser. And I thought that got changed. We cannot thrive if we remain like this. But now, over the past 20 years or 20 something years that the book was published and all this stuff, it has become like a madness, you know. Now it's not about that. Now it's about oh, you're a man and I'm a feminist, and therefore I despise our men, or I don't know, you're a man and you should be ashamed of being a man, or and of course there have been more mm, migration, need for people to migrate to other people, to other countries, and that has been increasing, and it's wild and it's crazy. And how can this be happening again and more, um, more, I don't know, like more often, or like with more subjects, you know, or like, oh, you belong to another, um, I don't know, it's quite, and it's crazy. And I think that's why Harry, it's it's important. It's more, um, I don't know how, I'm sorry, I forgot the word, but why it's so remaining, I don't know. If you want to help me to improve my English, I would be very happy to read you. And be nice and be gentle, please. We don't need more attacks, especially if you want to be part of this community. I don't know where this adventure will lead us, because as I said it before, I'm not going to talk about canon book and stuff. I'm going to talk about what I have researched and what have I learned about, as I said before, philosophy, psychology, quantum physics, all of these topics and all of more topics related to magic, to the magical world, so of the books. So if you haven't read the books, I hope this channel will lead you to read them, because you're missing so much wonderful things. You know, you have just this kind of knowledge from all these things that are beautiful and magnificent and amazing in the books. So yeah. But well, this is the first video. um, I'm gonna follow this series of videos. I don't know how much I will make, or how or when I'm gonna upload a new video, um, because I'm gonna talk about them as I feel they are important for me to talk about them. So if you want to know what I have in my mind, well, you have to be part of a community here. So please subscribe if you want, and if you feel drawn. Um, the next thing I want to talk about is muggles. So this is gonna be the clue word for you to find the next video, muggles. And I'm gonna talk about them not from the books, but from why I think muggle people are muggle people, and why are some of us who feel so drawn towards magic and towards this universe, and what differentiates us, and what keeps us together, and why it's important to recon our differences and to value our closeness, I suppose. I don't know. So well, if you want to share your stories about why do you think Harry Potter remains relevant, at least for you, I will be happy to read you. And well, be vigilant. Be vigilant about when I post the next video. And I hope you enjoy this journey, and I hope it will be an enjoyable thing for me as well. And I hope we can find new stuff, and we can open our minds a little bit more. As I don't know, I think it's in the first book, where in the sorting hat ceremony, I believe, in the Harry Potter starting hat ceremony where Dumbledore said that they hope that the time at school, make them remember. Not they don't. He doesn't says that you learn something new. He says that you might remember what you already know and you have lost. So I hope this channel brings that kind of mm, magic to all of us, and yeah, that magic be present always in your lives. Till next time, bye.